Hello, thank you for joining me on the mat today. We begin lying on our backs, hugging both knees into the chest, feeling our breath in the body, pressing the lower back down into the mat. One more breath here. And then on your next inhale, release the legs, extend them long, reach the fingertips overhead, big full body stretch, and exhale, knees back into the chest. Find a little rock here and rock yourself up into boat pose. Beautiful. Connect to the core. Hug the navel into the spine. Hold here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more breath. And exhale, cross the feet at the ankles, coming into easy seat. Taking the hands behind the lower back, lifting the chest, interlace the fingers. Big breath, spreading wide through the collarbones, opening up the upper back. Exhale to release the hands, making your way into a gentle twist. The left hand comes to the right knee. One breath. And exhale to release back to center. Taking a moment to reset, inhale and exhale, twist to the left. Reaching up through the crown of the head, finding length in the spine as we root down, feeling grounded and supported. Coming back to neutral spine, finding small little hip circles. Anything that feels good to warm up the inner groins and the lower back. And whenever you feel all juiced up, we can extend the arms out in front, reaching the fingertips towards the front of the mat, folding over the legs, but keeping the sit bones nice and secure on the mat. Finding your breath, releasing tension on your exhale, feeling the length in the sides of the arms. Beautiful. On your next inhale, raise the chest and gently come onto the knees, all fours, tabletop pose. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the back, press through the hands. Beautiful. Moving with the breath. Synchronizing breath to movement. Getting ready to move our bodies and wake up the energy for the first half of this practice. We're about to ignite the yang energy. Finishing out our cat-cow. When you're ready, tuck the toes and send the hips up, coming into our first downward facing dog. Reaching the heels down and the hips up. Inhale, gaze at the hands, lift the heels, and exhale, roll to high plank. Take a nice, strong, controlled vinyasa, hugging the elbows in by the sides, and inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Gaze at the hands and gently make your way up to the tippy top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reach through the crown of the head. And exhale, fold down, planting the fingertips, turning the toes out to the corners and releasing into a squat. Reaching the left arm overhead, side body stretch, sending the pelvis down into the mat. Releasing and reaching the right arm over. Coming back through center, turning the toes to the front of the mat, feet are hip-width apart. Inhale, chair pose, nice and strong, slightly tucking the tailbone, lifting up through the crown, rolling the shoulders back. Shift your weight to the right foot and gently pick up the left, stepping it behind, coming into a little pyramid pose. Inhale, straighten the legs, and exhale, fold over. Taking the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, lifting the chest, flat back, neutral spine. Nice and active in the legs, helping yourself deepen the stretch. Exhale, folding over the legs, taking the hands with you over the head. Still breathing. Squeezing through the glutes, through the quads, the hamstrings. Ground down through the feet. Inhale, release the hands and raise them overhead. Exhale, take the chest towards the foot, parallel with the mat. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold halfway. One more time. Using your core strength, strengthening your stabilizer muscles. Beautiful. Release and step back up to the top of the mat. Exhale, yogi squat, opening through the hips, maybe feeling a little bit more open this time around. Take one big breath to reset. And then on your next exhale, turn the toes to the front of the mat. Inhale, chair pose. Sink down into the hips. And shift the weight to the left foot, picking the right up. Exhale, step it back behind you, nice and careful. Straightening the legs, and exhale, take the chest forward. Interlace the hands behind the back. Nice and strong, feel your strength. Connect to your power. And on your next exhale, take the chest towards the left leg, hands come overhead. Breathing into this stretch, feeling yourself open. Inhale, use the hands to help you lift the chest. Release the fingers and sweep them up overhead. Exhale, tilt the chest forward. Inhale, lift, and exhale, forward. One more round, moving with your breath. And then inhale, raise the chest, step up to the top of the mat, mountain pose. Ground down through the left foot, and inhale, pick the right up, coming into tree pose. Placing it on the inside of the thigh or the calf. Grounding down through the left foot. Inhale, raise the arms, interlace the fingers. Exhale, slowly bend to the right. Using your focus point to help you stabilize. Exhale through center. Release the foot and come into stork pose, lifting the knee in front of the chest. Exhale, the left hand comes to the hip and the right finds the big toe, extending the leg in front, keeping the hips nice and square. Trying to keep your balance, cross the foot over the left knee and come into standing figure 4. Sending the hips backward as we ground down through all 4 corners of the foot. Taking about 2 more breaths here. Using your breath, and exhale, release down to mountain pose. Grounding through the right foot, picking up the left, and coming into tree. Feeling nice and grounded in this standing sequence. Rooting down through the feet and lifting up through the spine. Taking our side bend as we take up space. Exhale, back through center, and release the foot, coming into stork pose. Beautiful balance. And when you're ready, we can extend the leg in front, embracing any wobbles, maybe any slight falls, knowing that this is yourself getting stronger. Coming into our standing figure 4. Breathing enjoying this nice, strong part of this class before we melt down and surrender into our yin portion. Getting ready to build up heat with some movement, we release into mountain pose. Inhale, raise the arms overhead. Exhale, dive down. Halfway lift, and plant the hands back into plank pose, taking a nice and controlled vinyasa, meeting in downward facing dog. Gazing at the hands, make your way to the top of the mat, forward fold. Halfway lift, and fold. Root to rise, come up strong, big energy. And exhale, heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, dive, flat back. Halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Step back to plank, taking a vinyasa. Big breaths. Downward facing dog. Grounding down through the left foot, raise the right, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, stack the hips, open to the side. Squeezing through the glutes, open up as much as you can as we gaze underneath the shoulder. Exhale, straighten the leg and bend the knee, bringing it in through the chest, releasing into pigeon pose. Starting to walk the hands in front of the legs and melt down over the glute. We're now entering our yin portion. We will be here for about 30 more seconds, so find what position feels comfortable to you. Wherever you can release. Sticking with your breath, noticing it as it flows throughout your body. Noticing its rhythm, maybe noticing any sweat trickling down your body. And on your next inhale, gently raise the chest, walk the fingertips back, and reach for the left ankle, finding a nice quadricep stretch. Reaching it into the hips, and holding here for just a few breaths. Taking your awareness to the body, noticing its sensations in the different muscles. One deep inhale, fill the belly with air, sending love and oxygen to the brain and body. And exhale to release the foot, carefully coming back into a wide child's pose. Melting down, letting the arms become heavy for a moment. Surrendering to this childlike sense of soothing as you hold yourself tenderly. Allowing space for whatever needs to come up for you. Breathing nice and easy, allowing yourself to be in this present moment. Releasing tension with every exhale. Letting your breath anchor you whenever the mind begins to wander away. Finding 2 more beautiful breaths. before gently lifting up and pressing into downward facing dog. Take your time to get here, to arrive, and then lift the left leg, three-legged dog, bending the knee, stacking the hips. Squeeze through the glutes. Ground down through the palms of the hands as we grip the mat. Exhale, three-legged dog, bringing the knee into the chest and releasing into half pigeon pose. Take a moment to find your comfortable position, making any adjustments you may need. Letting go of any resistance we have to this stillness, to this quiet. And just enjoy this time of being with yourself. Whenever you're ready, you can gently lift the chest, bend the back leg, and reach for the ankle. Taking whatever variation of this posture feels the best to you. Sending the pelvis down into the mat to find more length in the front of the leg. Breathing. Taking this moment to observe where your mind naturally wanders to or has an affinity to go, but not attaching any judgment, just observing yourself. Releasing the leg, we can press up and then come onto the knees, coming first through tabletop and melting down into puppy, walking the hands out and letting the chest melt towards the mat. Fully releasing here, releasing tension in the shoulders, letting go of the hips, not worrying too much about our alignment, just finding what feels good. Maybe we walk the hands out a little bit further, opening the backs of the shoulders, finding more space in the hips. Inhale to find love for yourself, and exhale to send it all out into the universe. Maybe even visualize it floating around you, this loving energy that you are full of. Taking a few more rounds of breath, feeling nice and open. And on your next exhale, gently press through the hands to lift the chest. And carefully make your way onto the sit bones, preparing to lie down on the back. Enjoying a nice hip opener as we begin to head towards the end of our practice. We can choose a happy baby, reaching for the big toes with our peace fingers, or we can send the soles of the feet together in a little reclined bound angle, pressing through the feet if we have them together, using the opposition to open through the groins, pulling on the feet with the hands, letting the knees fall to the side as we breathe deeply into the lower back. Maybe noticing any emotions or mental tension. Maybe noticing nothing at all and just enjoying being with our breath, being in our beautiful body. Wherever you are, exhale to release, crossing the right leg over the left, coming into eagle legs. Exhale, drop the knees to the left side and find a twist. If this is too intense for you, you can always unravel the legs and find whatever twist feels good. Remembering that this is your practice and I'm only a guide here on this journey. Practicing calming the mind as we tune back into the breath. Feeling it as the breath enters and leaves the nostrils. On your next exhale, gently lift the legs, knees point towards the ceiling, and come back onto flat back. Keeping the knees crossed over each other, reach for the ankles and pull the legs into the chest. Coming into a little reclined cow face pose. Opening up through the glutes. If this is too intense, we can always release and come into a reclined half pigeon pose. Breathing into the glutes, feeling them as they stretch and open. Taking one more final breath before gently unraveling everything and switching sides. Wrapping the left leg around the right and carefully letting the legs fall to the right side as we find our twist. Enjoying this present moment, this practice on the mat. This moment where we have nothing left to do but just be. Healing our bodies and our minds from the inside out. Gently releasing onto the back and taking our shoelace pose. Reaching for the ankles, pulling them as close into the chest as feels good. Breathing nice and easy for our last little stretch before we release into Shavasana. Enjoying these last few moments of stillness and of quiet. Taking this time to release into whatever final resting pose feels the best for your body. Wherever we can tap back into the breath and allow ourselves to fully let go. On this inhale, taking a quick little body scan, noticing anywhere we might still be holding physical tension, and exhale to lovingly release it. Surrendering to your breath. Staying here as long as feels necessary. This is where I leave you today, And I thank you for joining me in this practice in body and mind connection.